Okay, it's a great pleasure once again. I think I've learned a lot, from the talk from the previous three panelists. And so my talk is predominantly going to focus on the sports betting perspective when we're talking essentially about problem gambling. Quick show of hands, how many of us have ever placed a bet on a sports book here?
Be honest.
Fantastic. So that's literally everyone. And then also quick show of hands, how many of us are actual active sports bettors? So you literally place a bet every single week, week in, week out. Okay, great. So you'd attest to the fact that most likely, when you're placing your bets, if you're doing any kind of analysis whatsoever, you're shuffling between different tools across different browsers, different apps and all that to be able to gain the insights and the edge that you need to be able to get the profitable levels when it comes to your bets. The objective here for myself, which I'm going to encapsulate over the course of the presentation, is essentially generating a software solution that is sort of all in one in terms of you being able to rely on it when it comes to getting the insights that you need to gain the edge when it comes to sports betting. When you juxtapose sports betting and day trading, there's a lot of similarities between both fields, right? But the reality is, day trading, for example, has a lot more software-related solutions that empower the avid day trader to be able to gain an edge when it comes to day trading compared to sports betting. And my company, Lemeister, which is essentially a Canadian headquartered sports analytics company, is working on an all-in-one solution that's going to deploy on the App Store by the end of the year. That's going to be that all-in-one interface where you'll be able to gain insights when it comes to sports betting. And I'm going to cover that a lot more in depth as well over the course of our presentation. So about myself, I believe I've already done the introduction about myself. I am a multi-preneur. Essentially what that basically means is that I'm an entrepreneur across different sectors. If you do follow me on LinkedIn, if you do follow my content, you notice that I post across different subject matters, different fields, different aspects. But my passions predominantly related to this presentation include AI, sports betting, and poker. And my focus over the past decade, particularly related to the founding of my company, Lemeister, has been more focused on essentially leveraging statistical models. So that was a lot more at the beginning. And then, as we got a lot more closer, especially to the AI revolution that we're currently thrust upon us by the launch of ChatGPT, essentially leveraging AI to be able to gain insights into using these tools, these very powerful tools, to be able to analyze sports data and then allows sports bettors to be able to get insights and essentially get the edge when it comes to sports betting. So Lemeister, my company, is a sports analytics company headquartered in Toronto, Canada. Our clients include sports bettors, bookmakers, sports books, regulators, and clubs. And one of our flagship products, which I did mention prior, that we're going to be launching prior to the end of the year, is Lemeister. And Lemeister is essentially going to be that all-in-one tool where you could rely on when it comes to your sports betting. So good amount of you, if you've done any sort of analysis when it comes to sports betting, you'd be shuffling between go.com, going through some other platforms, trying to read some articles, trying to gain some insights and all that. It's pretty cumbersome, pretty tedious, not as effective as you'd expect it to be. But the objective with Lemeister is to have that all-in-one interface that you could rely on when it comes to sports betting. So you could gain some insights from the data, you could analyze, you could get some more feedback in terms of what you need to do to be able to gain an edge with sports betting. So I'm going to quickly go through some case scenarios and case examples in terms of what we're doing to alleviate problem gambling. So the first solution that we have under Lemeister is essentially AI-guided bankroll management. And this is basically, focused on, essentially alleviating the gambler's fallacy, phenomenon where essentially you have gamblers that place sports bets, and once they place these sports bets and they make losses, they capitalize on placing some more sports bets to be able to alleviate the previous losses that they had. And the strategy behind this is essentially them trying to break even to be able to get the funds that they lost previously. And our focus here is sort of like providing some insights that would enable these sports bettors to be able to manage the bankroll a lot more effectively. So for example, gleaning insights from historical data and then live odds, we take the data and then we analyze it, and in real time, connecting with what Sami said, like beating human reaction time, we're able to proactively tell you and send you some notifications and say, hey, we think, you're losing so much, we think it's a great idea to bet, X amount to be able to alleviate the losses that you're currently incurring. And then as well, the other case scenario that we have here is dynamic AI-driven odds adjustment. So this is a lot more focused towards sports books, integration with their systems where we're able to proactively determine problem gamblers from their betting habits and the insights that we've gotten. And then, essentially adjusting the odds that they have in real time so that we can minimize the maximal loss. And then as well, we also deploy in production actually an AI-powered chatbot for real-time intervention. So, as you have the chatbot as a second screen experience or integrated into as an app experience as well, either as a browser extension or, as an AI agent integrated into your sportsbook. So as you're placing your bets, we could proactively tell whether or not you're trending into problem gambling territory. And once you're trending into that territory, essentially beating human reaction time. We send you some insights, some articles. We even connect you with a live operator, essentially when it escalates and gets to the point where it gets really dangerous. So you're able to sort of, alleviate that problem. And then as well, we're also, with Lemeister, we're generating AI insights when it comes to, live match previews, in-match commentaries, and then post-match commentaries as well. So you're able to get an all-in-one experience when it comes to knowing which particular bets to make to be able to alleviate any potential losses that you can make, so you're not essentially becoming a degenerate problem gambler. And then finally as well, working with regulators across the board, so in different parts of the globe, producing solutions for them that would enable them to be able to integrate across multiple sportsbook. And then, if a particular sportsbook is not compliant in terms of the processes, they're able to proactively provide some insights. They're able to proactively forestall any trend towards problem gambling with any of the essentially the sports bettors. So to conclude, I would like to contend that AI can actually help shift gamblers from exploitation towards a lot more protection, so they could be rest assured to know that they could be protected from being exploited by sportsbooks. I know, we have probably some attendants here, here today that work for some sportsbooks, and it may not sound as music to the ears to hear that, we're going to try to rein in on their actions, but I think there could be that sweet spot where the sportsbooks could still make their margins, and then gamblers as well could also be quite profitable as well in terms of their endeavors. So the solutions that we're proposing, some of them are already in prototype, some of them are in production, and some of them are at concept stage. And the idea is to be able to provide a uniform platform where sportsbooks and sports bettors could thrive all together in terms of meeting their objectives. So in that sense, I'd like to place a call of action to encourage everyone to join us in reshaping the future of sports betting. Let's essentially collaborate to implement some of these responsible betting solutions to essentially help create healthier markets and build a lot more sustainable betting ecosystem for everyone. More than happy to address any questions. If you also have any demo requests, feel free to reach me at my email, frank.premp@lemeister.com. And as I mentioned prior, Lemeister is going to be launching prior to the end of the year. On that note, it's a great pleasure. Thanks a lot for your attention. Very much happy to address any questions.
Thank you very much, Frank. Can I have a round of applause, please?